Hello guys, welcome to another session of Marginal Costing Numericals. In the previous class, I started the 31st question, but then we could not complete it because of the time constraint. So the last bit of 31st question I will try to explain, and then we move on to the other questions. In 31st question, when we started, we have done all the bits except the last question, where he is asking you to explain which company is likely to earn greater profits in the condition of heavy demand and low demand. So here, this is in case of heavy demand. Now, in case if you're having heavy demand for your product, you can refer back to the question yesterday, the solutions, what you have done and all. What is the logic here is the company which is having higher profit volume ratio will be making good money in times of heavy demand. So the answer for this is the company with higher PV ratio earns more profits. So who is going to earn more profits? Who is going to earn more profits? The company with higher PV ratio. So in yesterday's question, if you refer to the profit volume ratios of both the companies, P Limited's PV ratio was 33.1/3%, whereas Q Limited's PV ratio is 25%. So according to the statement what I have written, I said if you are having heavy demand for the product, the company with higher PV ratio is going to earn more profit. So which company is having higher PV ratio here? So company P. Now what do you mean by PV ratio? I have already told you it is the contribution percentage. Higher the contribution percentage, higher would be the profit. More contribution, more profit. See, logically speaking, out of every 100 rupees they are selling, 67 rupees they are spending in the form of variable cost, remaining 33% they are having in the form of contribution. And this company, when they are selling 100 rupees, 75 rupees is in the form of variable cost, 25 rupees is in the form of contribution. So who is having more contribution is P Limited. So as you are selling more and more units, because you are having heavy demand, you'll be trying to sell more products, more sales. When the sales increase, variable cost also will proportionately increase. The contribution also will proportionately increase, but the fixed cost remains constant. Therefore, this company who is getting 33% share of the sales will be definitely earning more profits. So therefore, P Limited earns more profits. Okay, this is first case. Then in case of low demand, what happens if there is low demand? Now, here, when you say the demand is less, obviously the sales of the company will be less. Now, what is important for you is to break even. Now, what do you mean by to break even? When I say to break even, I am talking about come to the point where there is no profit or no loss. So attaining that position is very important, because as long as you are not coming to the break-even point, you are in the loss zone. Once you cross the break-even point, you will fall into the profit zone, correct? So who will earn profits more in case of low demand? Means you should not see the contribution percentage, you should see the break-even point. That is going to make the decision here. So let us see the break-even point. I mean, the decision would be the company with lower break-even point in terms of rupees earns more profits, because you are coming to the break-even point quickly. You will come to the break-even point because your break-even point is at lower level. You will come to the break-even point quickly when compared to the other company. Therefore, you will fall into that profit zone quickly. So now in this case, when we refer to the answers of yesterday's question, the break-even point, P Limited's break-even point is given as, we have to calculate this. The break-even point of P Limited is 1,50,000, and when it comes to Q Limited, break-even point in terms of rupees is, I think it is 1 lakh rupees. Now you have to decide which company is going to earn good profits when there is low demand. The answer for the low demand is the company with lower BEP. In this two, which one is having the lower BEP? Q Limited has the lower BEP. So what is the answer? Therefore, the continuation of this is, therefore, Q Limited earns more profits. So Q Limited will earn more profits in case of low demand. P Limited will earn more profits in case of high demand. This is okay. This is the last part of the 31st question, which we could not complete it yesterday because of time constraint. Okay, so I will proceed with the next question. All right. Now, moving on to 32nd question. I must tell you that this 32nd is one of the very favorite question for the examiner. I have seen almost several times that this question is repeatedly being asked to the students. So this is the model. I'm not saying this question, but this is the model which they ask. So look at this 32nd question. The sales turnover and the profit of a company during 2 years was as follows. He gave you sales and profits of 2 period. I am going to check whether you remember what we discussed initially or not. He says 1991 and 1992. These 2 years information. He gave us sales and he gave us profits. So sales for these 2 years is 1,50,000 and 1,70,000. When it comes to profits are 25,000 and this is 20,000 and this is 25,000. This is what is given. And you are required to calculate PV ratio, break-even point, whatnot. He can ask you anything from this. This would be the information given to you and he'll ask anything. So this is your sales. This is your profit given to us. The first question he's asking is PV ratio. The second question is asking is break-even point, sales required to earn a profit, profit to earn sales when sales are so and so, margin of safety, variable cost, everything. I am telling you guys, with this information, he can make at least 10 to 12 questions. So let us try to spend some time on this. What I want you to understand is, whenever you find this 2-period information question given in the exam, forget about what he is asking. Forget about what he is asking. Don't see what he is asking. You will start with what is the procedure. The procedure is to always start with profit volume ratio. whether he is asking profit volume ratio or not. In fact, in this question, he has asked us. I'm telling you whether he is asking us or not. What is the point I'm telling you? You have to start with PV ratio. There is no other way to solve this problem. This will be the first step. Now, sir, which formula should I use? If you refer back to our introductory classes, I have told you the formula for PV ratio as contribution upon sales, and I also told you that there is another formula for PV ratio when two period information is given, and that formula was change in profit by change in sales expressed as a percentage. This formula is the only way out to start this problem. So, what is change in profits and what is change in sales? Whenever we are talking about change, we will take the current year minus the previous year. So, change in profits. Current year profit is, that is the latest year is 1992. So, current year will take 25,000. Previous year is 20,000. So, 25,000 minus 20,000, it is 5,000 divided by change in sales. 1,70,000 is the current year, that is the latest year, recent year, minus the previous year is 1,50,000. 1,70,000 minus 1,50,000 gives you 20,000. So express it as a percentage. So it is 5,000 divided by 20,000 into 100 gives you 25%. Now you see whether he is asking this question in the exam or not. If you refer back to the question, he says find out the PV ratio. For me, this is A. This is A bit. Because I did not start to find out A, because he asked this as A, so PV ratio is no. Sir, can we proceed with this now? No. Second step also, don't see what he is asking. Don't refer to the question what he is asking. First step is mandatory step. Second step is also a mandatory step. You have to again start with PV ratio only, because I'm going to use this to find out something. And here, in the second step, you have to use the missing information formula. First step, you are using the two period formula. In the second step, we are going to use the missing information formula. What is missing information formula? F plus P by S into 100. So this is the formula we have discussed for missing information. Sir, do we have PV ratio? Yes. Do we have sales? Both the years I have. Do you have profits? Both the years I have. Do you have fixed cost? I think that is what is missing. So we can find out, because I have all the other three. The fourth one can be found. Now the question comes is, sir, should I use this for the 1991 year or 1992 year? It makes no difference for us, because fixed cost remains constant. Whether you do it with this figures of 1991 or whether you apply this for the figures of 1992, your answer will be same. So you can take anything. I am applying it for 1991. PV ratio is equal to 1991 के लिए PV ratio remains same, 25% is equal to fixed cost, I don't know, plus profit. See which year I am using? 1991. So 1991's profit is 20,000. So you have to be careful if you are taking 1991, both the profit and the sales. Sales of 1991 is 1,50,000. You can't take profit from here and sales from the other year. Okay, so be careful. Profit from the 1991, so sales also from 1991. I need not multiply with 100 because it's already in percentage form. So to continue this, a cross multiplication gives me, I can say my fixed cost plus 20,000 is equal to 1,50,000 into 25%. So 1,50,000 multiplied by 25%. So this will be equal to, see 150 into 25%, it should be 37,500. This plus 20,000 going that side becomes minus 20,000. So therefore, fixed cost is 17,500. 17,500. So I have the fixed cost with me. Sir, did he ask us the fixed cost? I have not seen the question. That's what I'm telling you. Whenever you find this question, the first step is apply the PV ratio, 2-period information formula, find out the PV ratio, then apply the PV ratio missing information formula to find out the fixed cost. Once you have this two, one is PV ratio and the fixed cost, then you can go according to the question order. So let me come back to the question now. What is he asking now? The first question he asked is PV ratio. I have already done it. So my A is there. The second question is asking the P bit. P bit he is asking is break even point. So break even point. I can do it in rupees. What is the formula? Fixed cost by PV ratio. Can't you find out? Do you have fixed cost? Just now we calculated 17.5. Do you have PV ratio? We have calculated 25%. So it will be 17,500 divided by 25%. 17,500 divided by 25%. When you calculate this, this is going to give you around 70,000. That's what the answer says. Right? So 70,000 is your break-even point. Now, if I ask you this question, sir, do I have to calculate break-even point separately for both the years? Answer is no. Why? Fixed cost will not change. PV ratio does not change. I told you, I am telling you again, the PV ratio will change whenever there is change in the selling price, that's per unit selling price, or variable cost per unit. If there is change in the selling price per unit or variable cost per unit, your PV ratio will change. Hence, the break-even point will change. Here, there are no changes in the question. There is no change in the selling price. There is no change in the variable cost per unit. So, the PV ratio remains 25%. The fixed cost remains 17,500. So, whether you apply for one time or two times, the answer would be same. Then, the third bit he is asking is sales required to earn a profit of 40,000. So, the third bit, the C bit, sales is how much if the profit desired is if I want a profit of 40,000. If I want a profit of 40,000, how much sales? This question we have solved it several times. This, with the help of missing information formula only, we will apply. So the PV ratio is equal to F plus P by S into 100. Now, what do we know? We know the PV ratio is 25%. We know the fixed cost is 17,500, which will not change. Plus profit. Should you take 40,000 or should I take 20 and 25? 20 or 25. It's a situational question. So he says, well, I want a profit of 40. You tell me how much is the sales. Don't copy sales from any of these places. It's a different conditional question. So if I want a profit of 40, how much I should sell? Need not multiply with 100 because it's already in percentage. So S will come here, 25% will go there. Therefore, sales is equal to 17 plus 40 is 57,500 divided by 25%. So when in your calculator, what you have to do? 57,500 divided by 25%. That gives you the answer. The answer should be rupees 2,30,000. So that is the C bit, where if you want a profit of 40,000, then you should sell rupees 2,30,000. That should be your sales. Is it okay? Then moving further, the next bit of the question says, I want you to find out the profit made when sales are 2,50,000. So I'm raising here. Starting with this question. So the next part of the question, that is D. D bit says the profit made when the sales are. So profit is how much if the sales are equal to 2,50,000. So if my sales are 2,50,000, how much profit I will make? That's That's a question. So I'm applying the same formula, missing information formula. PV ratio is equal to F plus P by S into 100. PV ratio remains the same. I think it's 25%. 25% PV ratio is taken. Fixed cost remains same. We got 17,500 plus profit is a question mark. So keep profit as a question mark. P I don't know. My sales is given in the situation 2,50,000 is the sales. In 200 I need not write because it is a percentage. So this time I am going to bring the 17,500 plus P to the left hand side so that I can find out P easily. 2,50,000 multiplied by 25%. So it should be around it's 125 and 62,500. Therefore, profit is equal to 62,500 minus 17,500. So that brings to an amount of 45,000. All right. So that is your question number D. Then EBIT. In EBIT, he is asking you to find out margin of safety at a profit of 50,000. So he is asking what is margin of safety if my profit is 50,000, 50,000. Now what is this? This is again a situational question. He is not asking you to find out MOS for both the years. See guys, MOS will differ. Fixed cost will be same for both the years. PV ratio will be same for both the years. But sales will be different. Variable cost will be different. Contribution will be different. Margin of safety also will be different. But because he is asking with this situation, I will find out directly. Now tell me which formula I am going to use. MOS, we have two formulas here. One is total sales minus break-even sales, and the other one is profit by PV ratio. Which one do you think is more appropriate? Because profit is given, the most appropriate formula is profit by PV ratio. The profit is given as 50,000. PV ratio, I know it is 25%. Therefore, margin of safety, if you calculate 50,000 divided by 25%, it comes to how much? 2 lakh rupees. That is bit number E. Then next question is asking variable cost of two periods. Why is it specifically saying variable cost of both the periods? Because variable cost cannot be same for both the years. When sales change, the total variable cost also will change. So the next part of the question is F bit. And the F bit is asking variable cost. Now what is variable cost? You can do it in any way, but I can tell you your variable cost percentage plus the contribution percentage should be equal to 100. It should be equal to 100% because we know that S minus P is equal to C, S minus C is equal to V, or C plus V should be equal to S. So logically speaking, we know that the PV ratio is 25%. So the C percentage is nothing but PV percentage, that is 25%. Therefore, variable cost percentage will be how much? Variable cost percentage is how much? Variable cost percentage is nothing but 100 minus PV ratio. So from 100%, if you deduct 25%, you get 75%. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to say that the variable cost is nothing but 75% of sales because your contribution is 25% of sales. If contribution is 25%, variable cost is 75% because the cent here means 100. Cent here means 100. So if sales is 100, variable cost is 75. So 100 minus 75 gives you 25. Or 100 minus 25 gives you 75. So what I got a percentage. He doesn't want you to find out a percentage. He says what is the variable cost. So for 1991, variable cost is 75% of the sales. What is the sales of 1991 according to the question? It is 1,50,000. It's the sales multiplied with 75%. And for 1992, the variable cost is, what is the sales? 1,70,000 multiplied with 75%. So that gives you 1,50,000 and 1,70,000 multiplied with 75%. Your answer should be 1,12,500 this year. And here in the next year, it is coming to 1,27,500. Is it okay? So this is one very important question, not only at UG level, even at PG level it is expected. One of the favorite questions for the examiner. Anybody who's preparing a question from this chapter, he says like, this would be my first choice, because they just give you information of 2 sales and 2 profits. And with this 2 sales and 2 profits, you're going to find out everything. You're going to find out everything, whatever it is asked. Is that okay? So I'll move on to the next question. Moving on to 33. Very much similar to what we have already done. The sales and the profits during the 2 periods are as under. So you have been given period 1 and period 2. I can take it as 2 years or 2 months or whatever it is. The sales are given to us and the profits are given to us. So the first period sales are 20 lakhs. And second period sales are 30 lakhs. The first period profit is 2 lakhs. The second period profit is 4 lakhs. So guys, he can ask you anything. That's what I told you. He's asking you to find out PV ratio. He's asking you to find out break-even point, sales for a profit, profit for a sales, margin of safety at a profit. All the questions have been solved. I think you can try this by yourself. What is the first procedure? What is the first step? Irrespective of whether he's asking this question or not, first step will be trying to find out PV ratio. Which formula I'm going to apply? The 2-period formula. Change in profit by change in sales 200. What is the change in profit? Always go by current year minus previous year. So it is like 2 minus 1, not 1 minus 2. It is 4 lakhs minus 2 lakhs. It is 2 lakh rupees profit. 3 lakhs minus 2 lakhs. It is 1 lakh. No, it is 30 lakhs minus 20 lakhs. It is 10 lakhs. Expressed as a percentage. So this should be equal to 20%. I get the PV ratio. Once I get the PV ratio, immediately I'll apply again PV ratio. But this time I'm going to apply the missing information formula, which is F plus P by S into 100. I'm going to apply it for any of the years. Let's say I'm applying it for the first year. So first year ke liye PV ratio remains 20%. Both the years PV ratio will be same. You can apply it for any year. Fixed cost is what we need to find out. Plus profit of the first year is 2 lakhs. So fixed cost plus 2 lakhs by sales of the first year is 20 lakhs. Cross multiplication. Fixed cost plus 2 lakh rupees profit is equal to 20 lakhs into 20%. That gives you around 4 lakhs. Therefore, fixed cost of the company is this plus 2 lakhs going the other side becomes minus. So 4 lakhs minus 2 lakhs is 2 lakhs. This is your fixed cost. Alright. Now once you have the PV ratio with you and the fixed cost with you, you have to just apply the formula and try to find out the rest of the information. So what is the first bit he is asking? The first bit he is asking is what is PV ratio. So the first bit is PV ratio. I calculated it is 20%. The second bit is asking is break-even point. So break-even point, I will apply fixed cost by PV ratio. Fixed cost, I know it is 2 lakhs. It is 2 lakhs. Divided by PV ratio, it is 20%. So it is 2 lakhs divided by 20%. That gives you how much? It should be equal to 10 lakhs. The third question is asking you is sales required to earn a profit of. The third bit, sales is how much if profit required is 5 lakhs. So if you want to earn a profit of 5 lakhs, so which formula are you going to apply? PV ratio is equal to missing information formula F plus P by S into 100. So PV ratio, I know it is 20%. Fixed cost, I know it is 2 lakhs. Plus profit, what he wants is 5 lakhs. By sales is what he will do. We need to find out. So sales is a question mark. Into 100 you did not write. So it is 20% of sales. So sales is equal to 2 plus 5 is 7 lakhs. Divided by 20%. That comes to how much? So 7 lakhs divided by 20% should give you 35 lakhs. So the answer is 35 lakhs. The next question he is asking you is profit when sales are. It's again a similar question. Profit is how much if sales given are around 50 lakhs. So the sales is 50 lakhs. What is the profit? So how do you find out? Same procedure you have to apply. PV ratio is equal to F plus P by S into 100. So applying this formula, PV ratio is 20% is equal to fixed cost is 2 lakhs. Yes. Plus profit is I don't know. By sales is given to me as 50 lakhs. We need not write into 100. Yeah. So it is 2 lakhs plus profit divided by 50 lakhs is equal to 20%. So if you continue this, I'm extending it here. So continuation of this is 2 lakhs plus profit is equal to 20% of 50 lakhs. 20% of 50 lakhs is equal to 10 lakhs. So profit is equal to this plus 2 lakhs going the other side becomes minus. So 10 lakhs minus 2 lakhs gives you an answer of 8 lakhs. That's bit number 4. Fifth bit is asking margin of safety. Fifth bit is asking what is margin of safety if profit is around 2,50,000. If my profit is 2,50,000, what is MOS? So MOS, which formula are you going to use? Profit by PV ratio. Profit is how much? 2,50,000. PV ratio is how much? Go back to PV ratio. 20%. Therefore, MOS will be 2,50,000 divided by 20% gives you how much? 1,50,000. Therefore, MOS is equal to 12,50,000. So that's all for today's session. Thank you. Any questions you can ask.